In the small, forgotten town of Ravenswood, nestled deep within the woods, a sinister secret lay hidden beneath the surface of its peaceful facade. For generations, the townsfolk had whispered tales of a cursed mansion at the edge of the forest. They said it was haunted, that unspeakable horrors had occurred there, and that it was a place to be avoided at all costs. One chilly autumn evening, a group of 5 adventurous friends decided to put these stories to the test. Sarah, the fearless leader, led the way. Her jet-black hair contrasted sharply against her pale skin, and her piercing green eyes never wavered from the path ahead. Beside her was Mark, her loyal best friend, who had the heart of a lion but the mind of a skeptic. Following them were siblings Amy and Ben, known for their mischievous nature and insatiable curiosity, and finally, the introverted Lucy, who often found herself dragged along by her more outgoing companions. The crimson sun dipped below the horizon as they reached the outskirts of the forbidden forest. A creeping fog clung to the trees, creating an eerie atmosphere. The mansion was said to be a 10-minute walk from where they stood, but the minutes stretched into hours as they trudged through the seemingly endless woods. Just as doubt began to gnaw at their determination, they stumbled upon a clearing, and there it stood, the mansion, imposing and ominous, as though it had sprung from a nightmare. Its windows were shattered, its roof sagging, and ivy snaked its way up the decaying walls. A twisted wrought-iron fence surrounded the property, its gate creaking ominously in the wind. Mark, trying to mask his unease with bravado, stepped forward. "Well, here we are, the infamous Ravenswood Mansion." Lucy clutched her flashlight tighter and glanced nervously at the others. "Are we sure about this?" Sarah smirked and winked. "Don't tell me you're scared, Lucy." With a reluctant sigh, Lucy followed the group through the gate, her heart pounding with trepidation. The mansion's front door swung open with an eerie groan, revealing a pitch-black interior. Hesitating only for a moment, the group ventured inside. They found themselves in a grand foyer, the air heavy with dust and the faint scent of decay. The walls were adorned with ancient portraits of stern-faced individuals who seemed to glare at them from the past. The floor creaked underfoot, and the silence was so deafening it was almost palpable. Amy's voice quivered as she pointed her flashlight toward a grand staircase leading to the upper floors. "Let's explore." As they ascended the staircase, the temperature seemed to drop with each step. Cobwebs hung like drapes, and the flickering light revealed glimpses of broken furniture and shattered mirrors. It was as though time had stood still in this forsaken place. Suddenly, a low, haunting moan echoed through the mansion, sending shivers down their spines. Lucy gasped, clutching Mark's arm. "Did you all hear that?" Sarah tried to sound brave, though her voice trembled. "It's probably just the wind." But it wasn't the wind. The moan came again, louder and more menacing, accompanied by the sound of footsteps from the shadows. Panic set in, and the group sprinted down the stairs, desperation in their eyes. They burst into a decrepit dining room, gasping for breath. It was then they realized that Amy was missing. Frantic, they searched the room and found a narrow, hidden passage concealed behind a dusty tapestry. As they descended into the darkness, their flashlights flickered ominously, casting eerie shadows on the uneven walls. They emerged in a crypt-like chamber, filled with the scent of damp earth and rot. In the dim light, they saw Amy, standing motionless beside an ancient coffin. Her face was ghostly pale, and she whispered incoherent words under her breath. "Amy, what's wrong?" Ben asked, reaching out to touch her shoulder. Amy turned to face them, her eyes vacant and hollow. "He's here," she whispered. "The one who haunts this place. He wants us to stay. Forever." The room seemed to close in on them, and the air grew colder, freezing their breath. A sinister, raspy voice echoed through the chamber, sending chills down their spines. "You should have never come here." Terrified, they fled the chamber, retracing their steps through the mansion's dark corridors, pursued by an unseen malevolence. The mansion seemed to shift and warp around them, trapping them in a never-ending maze of horrors. As the hours passed, their flashlights dimmed, their hope waned, and the sinister presence drew ever closer. Whispers filled the air, taunting them with promises of unspeakable suffering. Just when it seemed like all hope was lost, they stumbled upon the front door. The 5 friends burst out into the cold night, gasping for breath, their hearts pounding with fear. Behind them, the mansion stood, silent and foreboding. They never spoke of their harrowing experience again, but the memory haunted their dreams, a constant reminder that some secrets are best left undisturbed. And the cursed mansion of Ravenswood remained, its dark history and malevolent spirits waiting for the next unfortunate souls who dared to venture inside.